Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have a pretty interesting video to go talk about over here, where it's kind of on the big comparison to a PlayStation 5 PC, and the fact that people are now kind of comparing the normal price points right now of a gaming PC, and basically the same exact price point, like around a $500, $600 console or so, compared to PlayStation or Xbox, and I'm kind of comparing the actual what you get, the specs, the bonuses, and if you even really need a PlayStation 5 in the first place. Now, obviously, my channel's kind of like more on the console focus in general, and of course, the PlayStation 5 or Xbox have their own nice niche usage. And I mean, I literally use my PS5. You got the exclusives, you get all the good stuff. I still think it's worth getting, but we're going to talk about this and talk about how, like, the comparison between the price points of how this stuff is, and, well, at the same time, too, kind of see the exponential growth when it comes to gaming efficiency, and everything in between. Basically, everything that can happen within 2 or 3 years is happening as of now. So go talk about this, because someone literally basically built a cool couch gaming PC, which in theory might be also a nice alternative if you guys somehow don't already have your PS5 for whatever reason. And of course, if you guys like PC games. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch down below if you guys want to follow. We have the Target links, Amazon links, HOW links as well for the last few days of the promotions down below. And let's dive into the fact that someone could have possibly even put a whole entire PC into their couch themselves. Now that one's a joke, but let's go dive on in. So it's kind of like no stranger where if you're a PC person, I am myself, I've always said this on my channel, but I also have my console. I like, talking about games. I like exclusives. I like just playing everything I can, like my Switch, on my PS5 or Game Pass, whatever. But a big thing is that as time goes on, technology does typically get cheaper to produce, and there is more and more and more better options that also become more efficient. That is one kind of big issue we have with the PS5 or Xbox, where over time, they kind of are landlocked into the same specs, the GPU, CPU, because it costs more money. They want to make sure it's optimized, and it's basically the same flat thing for everyone. But when it comes to PCs, as time goes on, and we're at basically in year 3 now of our next-gen consoles, it does kind of let folks have a little bit more freedom and more options, and, well, let's go talk about it. So there's this random guy over here, Jacob Roach, went and built a couch gaming PC, which I literally wish it was inside the couch. That would be kind of cool, pretty efficient. But basically go and compare this and kind of what specs you go get from the PlayStation 5. So they go and say with the PlayStation 5 back in stock, which if you guys have seen, it has mostly been in time and mostly been in stock, and most big retailers and locations do have it. As well, we'll probably be even stopping our PS5 restock soon, so be on the lookout for that one. But a lot of times they're even comparing that you could build a PC for pretty much around the same price that is literally miles time better. Now, once again, the PS5 has specific things like your friends, friend networks, apps. On top of that, too, in terms of like games, exclusives, and all of that. But at the same time, you can have a lot of that stuff on a normal gaming PC, on like Discord, or just go to Netflix.com on a PC. You can send emails, go on Facebook, go on Twitter, whatever it might be. Get a few bonus options. So PC building is getting more and more expensive, but prices on the best graphics cards are dropping. As time goes on, older cards or good mid-tier cards keep on getting cheaper and cheaper as people flood the market, or it goes used, or whatever it may go and be. So basically, this guy himself made the god tier PC. At least for the price point. So getting the build, they had to have a few different types of groundwork. The PS5 still has its place, and consoles still serve a function that PCs can't. Kind of what I'm saying too as well. And like you have all your buddies, you got the exclusives, the console itself is good, there's a good SSD, and if you don't want to go through the process of building a PC, or having to worry about the maintenance, or anything in between, or just you just want to literally plug it into your TV and not even have to just, like, worry about the other stuff, bro, that is totally fine. So they set a budget over here for $600 for a couple of reasons. Number one, they were doing the comparison that a normal PlayStation 5 is $500, but typically we usually see the God of War bundles at around $560 or so, and then they gave a little bit of leeway because, you have to maybe order for shipping. It's a lot of different parts, moving parts, and all of that. So I kind of give them a free pass in this one. So they end up building a pretty solid PC. If you guys are familiar with PCs, AMD is usually the slightly better budget take. It's around a $100 GPU. They have a little bit of like a Wi-Fi adapter. They go and have the DDR4 RAM and SSD, all this other various stuff, a PSU, and they somehow actually end up making basically a PC for $637, although budget and not the absolute pinnacle. Still a pretty good console beater at this point. They have a lot better specs too as well. And of course too, it's about maybe like, let's say $100 more or so. They went over budget a little bit, but if you shop around, especially in the secondhand marketplaces, you can easily save $100 or more off the price. And the main reason they went with that, with their basically over the other GPU, because they originally planned to build with the RX 6600, which is another AMD card, which is about $50 cheaper, but the 660 is significantly more powerful though, so he said it was worth the upcharge too as well. So it's very intriguing to go and see this too. So basically for the build, they try to match the PlayStation 5 like a 1-to-1 as close as they possibly can, because it's like the comparison wise. You want to see like what you can get out of the same budget and if it's worth it to keep the PS5. Once again, though, I think just for the convenience factor, the PlayStation 5, the exclusives, the friends, and like the built-in apps and everything with it, like in theory, it's kind of nice. It's kind of more chill. You play it on your TV, you're good to go. PC is a little bit more cooler if you're more in depth, but it's still it's a different niche, I can totally see that. So basically the Ryzen 5 3600 provides 6 Zen 2 cores, with the PS5's offer 8 Zen 2 cores, or you can overclock the Ryzen with a single click. So they chose a motherboard that supports the overclocking. So if you pick up this build, keep in mind that the motherboard may need also a BIOS update too as well. So basically trying to be like, hey, there's an option if you want to have a similar, same thing for the Xbox 2 specs to kind of go with this. So it's kind of just basically have a chance to talk about this. They have the same SSDs, they have similar stuff, and they just basically made this console better. So they want to go and talk about the performance too, because they want to say like, and I agree with this take too, the PS5 does have good value, it's nice, but if you guys do want to go into PC gaming, there is a lot of options. Like, it is affordable. You can even buy pre-built, so they're a little bit more expensive. And you do get a lot more different options, such as like Steam. Some games are only on PC. And you can also do things like Game Pass on PC. A lot of Sony games are coming to PC over time. I'm not trying to convince you guys to come on PC. I'm just saying I'm on PC too with my PS5, and I'm happy all around. I'm a pretty happy gamer itself. So the big comparisons in this one too is that their performances were insane. Like, insanely different in between the two. Where I think it looks kind of nice. You guys can see and compare the quality over here. Or even on the PC itself, it's pushing, like, getting close to like 60 frames on 4K. It looks clear. Maybe hard to go and see on a video recording or whatever, but it looks more clear. You look at the frame rates, and while the PlayStation 5 is very like close and hard set to 30, it just looks slightly nicer on PC. It flows better, and the frame rate, although it's not fully consistent at the solid 60, at the end of the day, pushing like 4K, that's really good. Now, obviously, when it comes to like a lot of consoles, they do sometimes have 4K 60, and I'm sure some people would actually appreciate and how consistent that 30 frame rate is. But you guys can go and clearly tell the right has more picture, more vibrance, it feels nicer, it looks like the character has better shading and everything in between. It just kind of goes to show that the PC, although is running very similar, it does look nicer. Just want to give a heads up, like reminder too, like the graphics are nicer on the PC side. But you can even kind of compare this, even at the nicer graphics, the baseline is still stronger. Most of the time you can kind of see like it's kind of like topping around, but over here you even saw the PS5 was slightly better when it came to this and the rendering and everything in between. So it's very intriguing to see this, especially compared to say like here's Final Fantasy versus PlayStation 5. Now, once again, it's very similar. I don't want to go make you guys feel bad for having a PS5 or PC or whatever, but like, it's cool. Like, look at how nice. And I do want to say it is like a slightly better, higher graphics in the 4K too as well. As you guys can kind of see, just like the picture resolution, the color resolution, stuff like that looks a little bit nicer. But once again, look at this. An interesting kind of thing to note too as well is that while the PC is in that solid 30, the PS5 actually was at a just instantaneously ripped up to 60 and then went back to 30 for the cutscenes themselves. So you could go and still see that there is still good beneficial stuff for having the PS5. The consistency factor is very nice. They're literally built for these types of games. And it's also very cool to see, but it did kind of seem like a lot of these, the performance coming over here is way better on the PC side. It's for pretty much the same similar price point. Now, you guys can kind of see though some games, like say the Spider-Man Miles Morales, did actually have a better optimization, probably because of Sony themselves literally making the game too, but that actually was better on PS5. But most of the other games, Guardians of the Galaxy, when it comes to Star Wars, all this stuff, you can see it was way better, almost consistently on this same price point PC. So if you guys are ever kind of curious, you probably are going to get more bang for your buck, or if you even spend an extra $200, $300, you'd be going skyrocketing way better than the PS5. Now, this is kind of a common thing, but more so the intriguing thing is the price point. Because yeah, you can spend $5,000 on a PC, duh, it's probably going to be better than a $500 console. But if you guys go and see a $500 PC, it's kind of intriguing to see that you can get better frames and better quality. Now, once again, some people like just sitting on their couch. Some people like just having like the ease of it. Some people don't want to build a PC, maintain a PC, or don't even maybe have like the monitors or desk space to go and do it. Totally why that's why these consoles exist. But it's very intriguing to see on how these numbers are in the comparison-wise too as well. So you guys can kind of go and see there's even better resolutions. The PC can kind of push a little bit higher too as well. Just even like you see the lighting, you see the jackets a little bit nicer, the colors look a little bit more vibrant. It just seems like there's just more stuff ongoing in the game itself. And it's kind of why PC has always been such a nice big kicker, because people just appreciate the slightly more finer details and the slightly more different textures on the game itself, and just making it look a little bit more seamless and nice. So it's intriguing because, well, some people are kind of curious about this. I really do think, just based on the information, everything we've had a chance to see, you can go get a really good normal PC for around the same price point and actually get better specs as of now. And I'm sure within another 2 years or so, it'll keep on getting cheaper and cheaper as like basically that hardware keeps on going down and down and down. Think how like an iPhone 7 2 years from now it's gonna be even cheaper than it is now, that type of stuff, like basically item degradation. And it's kind of intriguing to see on how people can actually go and fine tune this and make these even better. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. Once again, I do think a PS5 itself is nice to have for the niche, for the exclusives, for the ease of access. Not everyone wants a PC, but it is kind of cool that there is better alternatives out there nowadays that you can actually go and have pretty much the same price point, but slightly better quality. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch ring down below. Target links, how links last day, I think, for that promotion, or 1 or 2 more days left for that one, and all the other stuff. And make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on.